Yes!
So that's a 9 damage to start. And let me actually roll my unarmed combat. That's... What is that a 3? Yeah, that's a 3. That's not going to hit.
So the unarmed... So it's how much damage, I'm sorry, with the hand axe?
So the hand axe was 9.
And you miss with the unarmed.
I missed with the unarmed.
Okay. He looks a little surprised, because you see him turning his attention to Zook. And he looks a little surprised to see you jump up and dart forward. And you get him really good with his hand axe. He tries to swing back around and parry the blow with his greatsword. But you get in, you're too fast for him. And you just slam him on the upper chest with his axe. And he's very badly hurt by it. But he regains his composure very quickly and dodges out of the way of your second blow.
Okay.
Tarin, make a death save.
That's an unmodified 20, right?
Yep. It's got to beat a 10. That's it.
11.
So you mark one success. When you mark 3 successes, you are stable. You no longer have to make death saves.
All right.
Adric, do it.
Getting on my death saves here. That is a 16.
Okay, mark a success. When you get 3 of those, you're stable. You no longer have to make the saves.
Word.
Zook, finish it. Finish it. Maybe.
All right. I'm going for... Okay, so he's engaged right now, so I do get my sneak attack, right?
He is engaged.
All right, let's go for it. Let's go video games. Oh, that's not going to do it. That's a 7.
You have advantage.
Okay, but you have advantage.
Oh, yeah, I have advantage. Yay!
It's actually
Because he's in melee combat.
And
Okay.
so do you want a 2 or a 3?
Zook
All right,
fires,
so I have
but a sudden gust of wind, it's starting to pick up a little bit, and you fire wide. It goes sailing over the edge of the ship.
Sorry, guys. I tried. I really thought I was going to be the hero.
I
The
believe
little
in
bitty
you.
hero.
All right.
We gonna die.
The necromancer gets both hands on this great sword, Orphan, and he looks none too happy. He looks.
I would imagine not.
He looks unhappy, but he also looks disappointed in a way.
He had plans for
Your
us.
AC is
He did have
14.
Miss.
That hits, and you're not gonna like it.
No, I imagine I'm not.
So that's 12 damage
Shit.
Back down on your ass.
plus his
Yep.
touch of death, which is an additional.
Oh
5.
god. So I'm... Alright, so that's... The orphan is dead now, as far as I can tell.
No, what's your max HP?
I thought it was.
Your max HP is 9. He's got to do 18 damage.
No, it's 8. It's 8.
It's 8.
Yeah. So if he does 16
16
damage,
damage.
which I think he just did...
Oh,
What
we'll
did
call
he
it
just-
15. I'll be charitable. He did do
You're not gonna-
16 though.
Not gonna kill our characters in the first round.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm surprised.
I'll give you plot
I gotta
immunity for the
admit.
first session.
I'm surprised.
He's a level 6 priest, dude. You're not gonna. He's got lots of hit points and lots of abilities. So yeah, Zook, what you see horrifies you beyond belief. He raises his greatsword over his head, and he says a prayer out loud, and he brings it down right between Orphan's horns, and just cleaves her across the top of her noggin, slumps her down onto the deck, and after he does, the blood that seeps from the wound is pitch black, and it slithers over her body like insects, and just coats her in this oily residue for a moment, and then seeps into her clothing and into her flesh, and disappears. And with that, he turns back and looks at you.
See, I'm not surprised that it did that much damage, or that he's that high level. I'm surprised that you, Brickroad, did not allow my character to die in the first session.
Well, he has a great sword, which he's got a decent strength, and then he's got a priest feature called Touch of Death. He can use one of his channel divinity charges to deal extra necrotic damage whenever he hits with a melee weapon. So yeah, he turns back towards the gnome, who is carrying the party at this point.
Dude just wet his pants.
He just wets your pants.
Yeah.
But
Like, I wet Adric's pants. I'm not sure how that works, but it did.
the pirate has the ballista loaded, and he
Shoot him,
he
shoot him.
shouts, just an exclamation, and he lets fly with the ballista.
I hope I'm out of range of this.
Oh, he's not shooting at you. That would be.
No, I
The
know.
necromancer.
He rolled a 1.
Oh,
It was a well-intentioned attack, but It's a critical fail.
For like 3 rounds, I've been thinking if we can just survive long enough for this.
I know.
I don't know how a ballista would malfunction, but this one does. And it sends the arrow up, slicing through ropes above your head and tears through one of the sails. And it comes sweeping down towards the deck. And it falls down, Zook. You see, the sail comes detached, covering the deck of the ship where all of your fallen comrades and the dead captain and the dead first mate are laying. And over top of the necromancer as well.
So they're all covered by a sail right now?
Yeah, that ballista just tore off one of the sails. The ship is starting to lose speed now, because it's no longer catching the wind. And it just fell on all the combatants. That brings us around back to Orphan. Why don't you make a death save? You're starting over, by the way. Whenever you gain hit points, you lose all... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, first the first mate just gets bodied in the first round. and now our other assistants critically fails that roll. Alright, that's a 3, so that's 1 failure for me.
That's part of the reason why I was generous. This mate was supposed to help you in this encounter.
Alright, Tarin, you're up for your death save.
Oh, did you fail that, Orphan?
I did fail. I
Okay.
put 1 fail mark on my sheet.
That's a 20, which would matter in 4.
You give 1 hit point back on the 20.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
You automatically get 1 hit point back.
Does that just stabilize me, or?
It stabilizes you and you wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he doesn't know that I'm awake and blind. I'm still blind, right?
You are still... Well, you're blind and now you have a sail on top of you. Alright, Adric, make a death save.
13, that's
Okay,
2.
so that's 2 successes, okay. And Zook.
Okay, so since he's under this sail, would I get my sneak attack if I just ran up and stabbed him through the sail?
No, because he still knows where you are and he knows where you're coming from. But you don't actually have stealth and he's not engaged, so... He knows that nothing behind him is a threat. You see him working this sail with his hands, trying to get it off his head. But he definitely...
He thinks that nothing behind him is a threat.
That's true.
Yeah, he thinks...
He doesn't know Tarin just got a hit point back.
You know what? But if I go duck behind this mask and go into stealth mode, he wouldn't know I'm there. But he'll know I'm doing that, right?
Yeah, but if you want to take an action to go into stealth, I'll allow it. But otherwise, he knows where you are, and he's also got a feat called Alert. He can't be surprised as long as he's conscious. Oh, and you know what? You don't gain advantage on attack as a result of being hidden because of his Alert. You do gain advantage if he's engaged, though.
Okay, so he has to be engaged for me to get an advantage.
Yeah,
So you're not going to get a sneak attack on him anyway.
Okay, screw it. So I got to let an arrow fly at him.
Okay. Roll it.
What is that?
Move your cursors, people.
It's an 18.
18? You got a plus 8 to
18
that
plus
shot?
5. Huh?
Are you sure that's an 18? That's a 10, my friend.
What?
You rolled a 10.
Yeah, it's 10.
Oh, that I couldn't tell because people's cursors were over it. And, okay,
Oh.
anyways, it's a 15.
A 15, that still hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
His AC is not terrific.
3 plus 3, that's a 6 hit.
6 hit. You shoot an arrow into where this moving mass of necromancer is under the sail, and you hit it square in the middle, and it starts to leak red where you struck him.
Good.
I imagine he's now pinned to the sail.
I hope so.
A little bit, yeah. But you see black smoke start to billow out from under the sail, and it starts to choke you in conjunction with the rain and the wind kicking up. And the sail starts flapping violently, which means Tarin wakes up to the side of the sail, bludgeoning him in the against his temple.
That's actually what wakes him up.
Yeah, there you go. It also deals 1 point of damage, so he immediately falls back asleep.
What a dick!
But the smoke gets in your eyes, Zook, and when you come back, there is no more necromancer standing there. The sail is laying flat against the deck, just billowing in the wind.
Okay.
Tarin.
I can't see anything,
Oh,
and
wait,
I feel something weird on top of me.
Yeah, make a
I
death
get my
save,
death
Orphan.
save.
Yeah.
Orphan makes death save first.
Oh, And there's a bunch of bodies, but I don't know who's who around me.
Alright, that's a natural one. So that's what, 2 failures?
It's 2 failures.
Ooh.
Alright,
What are you at? Are you at 2 and 2?
I'm at -7 hit points and 3 failures.
We'll come back to you in a minute.
I'm dead. Alright.
Sorry, Orphan, we hardly do ye.
Tarin.
Realistically, in this situation, I think I would stand up, move over here, and take a blind swing at where I think the Necromancer still is.
And fall over.
You don't see anything standing there.
I don't see anything, you're right.
So you swing, and you hit nothing.
Hoping to cause a distraction for Zook to get in the last hit.
Adric, death save.
15, that's 3.
Nick is
0.
trying. So yeah, Adric's at 0 hit points, but you're not awake yet. You're just
Yeah.
stable. Nick is trying very hard to force me to kill somebody in the first session. He's done everything in his
I'm not.
power.
I like this character and I don't want her to die, but I'm just saying that's how.
I'm
how
not
the
killing a
dice is
first level
going.
character in the first session. I won't do it. Word of God. Besides, that
I mean,
was
insane at this
this
point,
is-
I probably cleared the sail off just standing up, right?
You have. Oh yeah, just by standing up, it's easy to get the sail
So
off.
Zook should be able to see that she's there bleeding out and hopefully do
Yes.
something since she still has her potion on her.
She looks really bad right now. And the blindness is starting to subside. As you wake up,
Oh, nice.
your vision starts to clear a little bit. But when you look around, you see some gray smoke dissipating into the wind, and just a bloodied arrow laying on the underneath the sail where the Necromancer was standing.
Okay.
That's the end of the combat. Whatever you guys want to do now, I would suggest somebody put a healing potion in Nick's character.
Yeah,
Nick, I'll make you a deal. If they decide to not put a healing potion in you, then I'll kill you.
Okay,
Okay?
that sounds fair.
I have no input on this since I'm not conscious.
No, I'm gonna do it, obviously.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna do it, but you can do it.
Yeah, I'll take the healing potion out of her pouch and force another one down her throat.
Okay. I just typed a bunch of semicolons into the Necromancer's hit point box. You guys got him a lot lower than I was expecting.
So he just buggered off.
He's no. All you know is he's no longer there. He might have turned invisible, for all you know, but he's no longer standing there. And the arrow that
Actually,
you
with
shot
the
him
sail,
with.
he didn't. That's the one nice thing.
That's true. You know he's not standing
Okay.
up in the sail anymore. But
So-
yeah, the
so
arrow
we're
you
out
shot him
of
with is laid
combat
on the
right
deck.
now?
You what?
We're totally out of combat right now.
Unless you want to pick a fight with some of the crewmen on the deck.
No, I actually want to come over here and tell this guy, hey man, good effort. Thanks for hanging out.
You tried.
And hopefully, if this necromancer reappears, which I have a feeling he might, you'll still be on our side.
I'm going to do my best to make sure that I guess I don't have any heal, so I don't know that Adric is alive.
You can
And
tell
I
he's
think he
alive.
drank his only healing potion, so
Yeah, you can tell he's alive, and he doesn't look like he's getting any worse. His breathing is stable.
Okay.
He's not bleeding out.
Can we get somebody to tie up this captain? Because he was just
did.
knocked unconscious, right?
No, Captain is dead.
yeah,
Oh.
he got frozen to death by the backlash.
No, the
Can't
Captain
control
is
it.
no longer breathing. He was killed by necromantic pea water.
Can we throw him in the ocean?
If you want.
We should do it respectfully because we kind of have to get this
Let's
crew on
throw
our
him in the
side.
ocean respectfully.
I mean,
You know, like a burial at sea.
are you doing it without
with
searching his
water.
body, or just like chuck him over?
I was just making sure he wasn't going to wake up and get pissed at us.
No.
Well,
If
given
he's
that his
dead-
arm was frozen off,
Yeah, I mean, he sustained a grievous injury and then pea water. So
Okay.
I kind
Dead
of picture
pea
his arm
water.
just falling to the ground and shattering. Honestly,
sure, that happened. I'm fine with that. How many hit points did? It's not gonna matter, I guess, in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But 6 hit points.
Alright.
All right, so Orphan gets 6 hit points back.
What's the rule for collecting arrows after combat? Like,
Half of what you fired, it's just assumed you can recover.
round down?
Round down, always round down in D&D.
Alright, so I fired 3, so I get 1 back. So that'd be
I'll
easy.
go over.
And you've got the barracks downstairs, which has plenty of arrows. So
Yeah,
You
but
should claim that bloody one. That's the prize here.
should wear that arrowhead around his neck till next time he meets.
I'm adding bloody arrowhead to my
So I'm going to ask this soldier who's left in command at this point.
You're asking the pirate up here?
Yeah.
What's that guy? Do we know that guy's name? No, I guess we're not, huh?
No, nobody ever
He's
asked.
the guy who we talked to at first.
Yeah, nobody ever asked his name.
Yeah, his
I
name
didn't
is
really
Benny.
get a chance. He was pushing a knife to my throat the whole time.
That's true. He looks over the deck and he sees the dead captain and the dead mate. And then he looks at you, Tarin, and he says, I believe you are, Captain.
As rightly it should be.
You're dressed in noble's clothes, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is
They're not better for the wear right now.
Oh, he says,
is Adric bleeding out? He still has 0 hit points.
No,
Adric is
no,
stable.
He's stable.
He's
All right,
stable.
You ask him who's in charge, and he looks down at the deck and sees the captain is dead and the first mate's been beheaded. No, I believe you are.
All right. I want you to address all of the men, get some of them to start working on repairing the sail. Are there any, and I'm going to say this into his mind, are there any I should be worried about?
I'm sorry, what? And are there any what he should be worried about?
Are there any I should be particularly worried about?
He looks over the crewmen, and you see the crewmen on the deck scurrying about. Some of them are going below deck. A couple of them are headed for the bow of the ship. And he points at those, we'll say 3 crewmen headed this direction, along this edge of the ship. I don't know if which side of the ship is which. I'm not good with nautical terms.
Port is left, starboard is right.
Whatever, Mr. Know-It-All. You know what? You're at -1 hit points. You're back to making death saves. No, he points to those crewmen. He says, I believe they're probably going to take the emeralds. You should stop them.
Ooh, my ears perked up at emeralds.
You're not close enough to hear it.
Oh,
Because you're down
then.
here on the deck. He came...
I'll mental relay that over.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you see
then
a couple of these
my mental
crewmen, when
ears
you look
perked up
down,
at
Zook, you see a couple of these crewmen are starting to climb over the bow of the deck. One of them has a dagger in his hand.
I'm gonna whistle really loudly and fire an Eldritch Blast as a warning shot over his head.
What's the range on that? Because you're at the opposite end of the ship.
I think it's pretty ridiculous.
I think it is too.
The enhanced one is 300 feet, so I think the base one is probably either 100 or 150.
Okay, well the ship is 110, and so you're not going to target him with it.
No, it's a warning
Just
shot.
whizzing one over his head.
So
Alright, it
across
whizzes
his
over.
nose, not up it.
Go ahead. I mean, there's 3 of them, so you fire this blast.
And I'm gonna make an intimidate check when I do that. Back on deck, sailors.
They won't be able to
sorry,
hear
I
you
rolled the real
shout.
die.
They're too far away to hear you shout over the wind and whatnot now. But yeah, you fire the shot, and it goes wide over the head, and it startles him so much that he loses his grasp and falls into the sea.
Good. Fuck him.
Another one looks back at you, and he's got a dagger in his teeth as he's climbing down the front bow of the ship, and he drops down the front below your sight. The third one jumps back on deck and puts his hands up and surrenders.
Are they able to swim anywhere from here? Where are we?
You're on a boat in the middle of an ocean, and there's no land in
I'm
sight.
asking the soldier.
So I wouldn't know. Can't read the maps.
Who can read maps?
But he's sharp. He shouts. Some of the crewmen just starting order. He starts running towards the bow of the ship with another pack of crewmen towards the one that's left.
Don't rough them up too much.
So what are you actually doing? Are you just going to stand here and watch this play out?
So
I'm
what?
gonna actually tend to the rest of the group and make sure that everyone's okay. Probably get them down to the infirmary.
Okay.
I went down to the prison where we were
Okay.
to talk to that old farmer guy.
Okay. So Zook,
Yeah.
you're still on the deck, and you watch the pirate that you negotiated your release with, and a couple of able crewmen go up to the bow of the ship. You saw one man be very narrowly missed by Tarin's Eldritch Blast. He lost his grip and fell into the sea. The second one saw this and then dropped below the bow of the ship, but he still had a grip. And the third one jumped back on and surrendered. And now there's a pack of crewmen and a pirate headed that way.
They're headed towards what? The bow.
They're headed towards the bow of the ship. This all went down right up front here.
I'm going to. Do they see me? Like at this point?
Everybody can see you. Yes.
Okay. I just didn't know if they were paying attention or if they all had their back to me.
Well, I mean, unless you're making an active effort to keep yourself concealed, no, everybody can see you.
I'm gonna come up here and see what the hell they're up to first of all.
Again, if you want to get up there by the time the rest of these guys do, you're gonna have to move quickly because they are running.
So that's where he went. Okay.
Yeah, that's where he
I'm
went.
gonna. Yeah. I can run up there. Yeah. I mean, as quickly as my little legs can take me.
You run up there, and as soon as you get there, the pirate and a couple of the crewmen drag this man back up above the bow of the ship, but he's holding his arm out, and in his hand you see the biggest, clearest emerald you've ever seen in your life in one hand and a dagger in the other. And he's got this look on his face, and he says, "It's mine now, but if I can't live, nobody can have it." And he makes to throw it.
I use my deception to lie to him and tell him if he just comes up nice and calmly, he can keep the jewel. It's all good.
Okay.
Just come on out.
Make a deception check.
All right. Uh,
9.
9, and I got +4 on deception.
Okay. That's 13. Looks at you for a second. And looks back at the pirate. Looks at the crew. He looks like he's considering it. But then he just shakes his head. So I don't believe you. And he throws it. And as he does, he says, "You're not in charge anyway. Nobody is. The necromancer's dead." And the group you're standing with, the seamen, not that kind of seamen, McDohl, and the pirates at the bow of the ship, they gasp as they watch the emerald hit the water and sink.
Ah! I die a little inside.
The pirate turns around, and you see this look of shock and just fear on his face. And he looks at the rest of the crewmen who are starting to become agitated. He says, "Don't worry, we still got one of them. We'll figure something out." And he looks down at you.
I ready an arrow at the guy who just threw my fucking emerald overboard.
Okay. And he looks at you. And he sees that you're a gnome, and he looks like he's not taking you seriously. Like,
He also
did he
sees
watch
that I'm a
that
gnome
fight?
who's just fired a lot of arrows at a necromancer.
do you tell him that?
And yes.
When you point that, roll an intimidate check on that. Do it with advantage. That's a +2 for you according to your sheet.
Roll a what?
Intimidate. It's under
intimidate?
skills.
Yeah.
You get a +2 for it.
14 plus, I got 16.
Yeah,
We get another roll because you have
You roll with
advantage.
advantage.
You
okay.
point out. I might be little, but I just. Oh, he didn't make a second roll. That was fine.
The other one didn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. The first one was a 16 or 14.
You point out that I just put a lot of arrows in that necromancer. And he seems to consider it for a moment, but then he continues to shake his head. That was a lucky shot. He spits on the pirate that's holding him by the neck. "Put me in the brig if you must." And then they start to drag him below deck.
I want to know where this other emerald is.
Well, there's 2 guys that jumped over that might still be in the water with emeralds.
No, the one guy lost his grip, fell into the ocean.
Oh, okay.
The second guy jumped back on and surrendered. The third guy clambered down onto the bow with his knife.
Oh, he's climbing on the outside of the ship.
And by the time the pirates got up, he had already dislodged the emerald and had it in his hand, and we saw he couldn't get his freedom. He decided, just out of spite, to pitch it into the briny deep.
I'm going to be helping Adric get down to the infirmary again.
Okay. Is anybody going to do anything with strict importance for the moment, or do we want to go into a little bit of downtime for a second?
We can go into downtime.
That's fine with me.
So I know you said you wanted to go back below deck. Were you going to do anything below deck?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the. What was the old farmer's name?
Traeger.
Traeger. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Traeger, who I think is still down in the prison.
Well, by the time you get down there, they're all everybody who's like up in life is gathered up here in the mess. by the time you get down to the second deck. The crew, the mutiny seems to have been successful. Most of the crew seem placated. But as word starts to spread that one of the emeralds went over, there seems to be some apprehension and unease amongst the men. So yeah, you get up here, and Traeger's up here in the mess.
Am I coming
As well
down
as
too?
good old Fred with 2 Ds is up in the mess.
I'm gonna
these
just
guys
drop
are
my ass in the infirmary.
dead. You, go ahead and you can be in the scene too if you want. They'll bring you up to 1 hit point. We'll say a short rest has transpired. Go ahead and spend a hit dice if you want.
I'll go ahead and do
But a long rest will have transpired by the time we do any more combat, so
Okay.
you'll all be back up to full by then.
All right.
So, okay, Traeger's here, Fred's here. The girl is sitting at one of the tables. She has a plate of food in front of her. And Arvin is up here just kind of overseeing. A couple of the crewmen are up here as well. Good old Swent. And the Dragonborn is not upstairs. So you come down, and this is the scene you see in the room here. Actually, I need to check my notes real quick. Okay, yeah. False alarm. Continue. So you come down, and Arvin looks up and addresses you. So I hear the fighting has stopped. He's kind of looking for news.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I'm cut out for a
Oh.
second.
Yeah, he says, I hear the fighting has stopped. And then looks at you.
Oh, yes. The captain, it was unfortunate what happened to him, but the necromancer is nowhere to be seen.
Arvin, at the mention of the necromancer, he turns his head to the side and spits on the ground. It's bad news about the captain, but won't shed a tear for that passenger of his. What of Landor?
Who?
Landor, his first mate.
Oh, the necromancer got him.
And he spits again. It's alright then, who's in charge of this tub? Fred puts up his hand. I'll do it! I know it is a great job, but I believe I am up to the task.
Audibly
The last-
cracking knuckles.
The last I heard of the negotiations, my associate Tarin was in charge.
Well, I hope you won't mind me saying, but I'm glad to hear it's a man. He looks at the dwarf and the gnome and the tiefling in the room. No offense.
Zook just shrugs and keeps
Yeah.
looking for shinies.
Where is Zook looking for shinies? Where is Zook going?
Well, Zook came down to the mess hall after the whole Emerald shindig, and I think I'm bored by this. I think I want to go look for shinies down here.
Okay. Roll a couple of search actions. Roll 3 in a row and just mark the results, and we'll come back to you.
So I'm gonna address the cook. Who's
Okay.
I already forgot. It's Eric. What was it?
Arvis.
Arvin.
Arvin. I'm sorry. Yeah, Arvin.
Yeah. Why do people keep saying that?
Why does he keep saying what?
Why do people keep saying that? About like I'm glad it's a man.
Oh, he puts his hands up and he says, again, I meant no offense. It's just most of us don't have much experience with demi-human types. You know where you stand with a human being in most cases.
No, but
at least none of you are elves. And he spits again.
no, I meant the question seriously. Have you had bad experience with others of any of our kind? Do they
Fred
have bad-
chuckles and laughs. Who hasn't? But the bad experiences are the ones worth living for, are they not? Swent, by the way, is focusing on the plate in front of him. He has not eaten a good meal in some days. And the girl is in the far corner, very delicately picking at some food that was placed in front of her, but looks like she doesn't trust it.
That, honestly, at this point, will probably be Tarin, too.
Hey, Brickroad.
What's up?
Brickroad. Glare.
Wait, who's this rook that's on the table?
That's
That's
Arvin.
the chef.
Yeah, that's
It's Arvin, the chef.
the
Oh, that's
morbidly
the
obese chef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about the chef. Or I forgot what his piece was.
It's like, well,
All right.
you should know.
So I'm gonna ask Traeger what his plans are now.
Throw myself into the sea, I suppose.
Well, I don't think you should do that.
He disregards you and goes back to his food.
All right, crew. I want 3 groups. I want one group to take care of the bodies of the fallen. I want you to get them ready for a proper burial. I want a second group to repair all of the damage that was done to the shrine, and I want a third group to start repairing the mainsail.
Is there any argument about that amongst the party?
I mean, I'm still looking. I just rolled.
You
for
didn't. Yeah, you
shinies.
didn't hear that. You're downstairs you're looting. You're fine.
Don't mind me.
Okay. Arvin looks at you, Tarin. So you should know, we have a navigator on board. He holed himself up in his room at the beginning of the mutiny. Hasn't come out. He's a coward.
Well, there are worse things than being a coward. Figuring out where we were was going to actually be my 4th action, but I figured, which room's the navigators?
Up on the main deck. Back by the stern.
I'll go see if I can't convince him.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and call that. Actually, no, we can't. We got one more thing to deal with down deck. So while you all are getting to work, you go downstairs, Zook.
Mm-hmm.
And you see where they have taken the cord and the leather strap and the bridle, and they have put the Dragonborn back in his bondage.
What the fuck?
He's still unconscious. He's still out. It's only been a few minutes, all that commotion on deck. But yeah, they put him back in. They clapped him back in chains.
Not. Are these guys alive? Who are these guys?
Those are the pirates. They are still unconscious.
Oh, okay.
The Dragonborn is slumped over. He's actually slumped over in his corner somewhere. They haven't put him back in the brig. But yeah, they've got him bound and they've got his bridle back on. And you hear the warhorse still whickering and tramping at the far end of the ship. What was what were your search actions, by the way? What kind of dice did you get?
They were terrible.
Okay.
Well, is it perception that I add to that?
Yeah, it's a perception check. We'll call it investigation check, since you're looking kind of specifically for things.
Oh, that's even worse.
Well, then, there's nothing of value to be found here anyway. It's
okay.
I mean,
yeah, my check was like 7, 3, and 1.
As you're looking, crewmen start coming downstairs and gathering up supplies from this room. And a few of them regard you with curiosity, but nobody moves to hinder you in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And then they head back upstairs with supplies.
Okay.
You guys up in the mess, the crewmen start to stream out above deck to get the repairs underway. The ones that are going to work on getting the chapel back in order seem to be very pleased indeed.
So, Dragon Dude is still unconscious, but they strapped him back up.
They've got him strapped back up with the cord, they've got the bridle back over his head, and he's slumped down in the corner.
Alright, well clearly I can't do anything about that by myself, so I'm going to go back upstairs.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to find Oh Captain, My Captain, real quick.
Like the actual captain or Tarin?
No, Tarin.
Okay.
That's him, right? Yeah. No, that's... Yeah.
Mr. Gaming Crotch is your captain.
And I say to him quite quietly, I tell him we need to talk, and I point at my noggin.
Okay.
So we can talk.
What do we got?
This
is mental, obviously.
And I tell him what I saw downstairs. That they put him back in bondage.
Well,
and I say, I'm not happy with that.
No, that's not going to stand. We'll get the crew all up on top deck when we bury the bodies. While we're doing that, we'll find one of these private bedrooms. We'll move him into there and remove his. Are you going
to try to do this without having anybody notice?
Yeah.
That would be very difficult.
Well,
you know what? If they notice, I'll just pull rank. But for now, that's what I'm going.
Where are you bringing him to?
So the idea is, once everything's underway and once they have the bodies ready, I'm going to make all crew go to the deck so we can have a service for the captain.
Okay.
At that point, I'm hoping the monks can go downstairs and bring him up into one of these. Are these 2 empty bedrooms, 13 and 14?
You haven't been in those rooms.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't.
You don't know what's in there.
Nope. One of them's the captain's quarters.
Do you check the doors?
Go check.
Because 13 is locked tight. 14, you open it up, and this is it's a barracks room. There's beds in here for the elite fighters who are on the ship.
Only one of whom is still alive.
Only one of
well,
whom is
they're
still
alive.
alive.
They're unconscious. That's fine.
Well, no, there's two
yeah,
below
we'll
deck
put
that are alive.
That's right. That's right.
So you tell everybody to go above decks. What you could do is
Yeah,
tell
all
everybody
the
to go
crew are
above
going
decks
to
for the
go above
service.
Deck, and I'm going to relate this over the mental link to
Okay.
the monks. That this is what I want them to do while we're having the service for the captain. I'm going to make sure everyone. I'm going to sweep the decks before I go up and make sure everyone is up there.
Okay.
I heard lock tight. Is it barricaded or can I try to pick it? Because I did grab my lock my thieves tools
Are you,
earlier.
are you going to do that rather than attend the service?
I didn't know. Are we doing the service right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants it to happen now.
I don't know, Captain. Do you want me to check this before check this or?
They're not going to notice that you're not there.
Okay.
It's only if you want to pay your respects.
They would notice if you were there.
I'm actually want to check this door.
Okay. And monks, are you going to see to your captain's orders once the once below deck is clear?
I'm not obeying the captain's orders, but I'm gonna free the Dragonborn.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't an order. It was an ask. I'm not ordering you.
You're going to make a
guys
shitty captain if that's your attitude. Alright, so you guys get the Dragonborn upstairs. As soon as you come back up to the top of the deck, Tarin, one of the crewmen walks up to you and he's holding the captain's sword. He looks at you and he says, "Captain Bren was a good man. I hope you realize that."
Yes, it's very unfortunate what happened.
And he hands it to you. And that is a +1 longsword.
I have no proficiency with. Awesome.
He also had this, and he hands you a small coin purse.
Okay.
Inside you find 15 gold pieces and a iron key. I'm sorry, 2 iron keys.
Well, I will put both of those on my belt.
Okay. What are you attempting to do with this service? Let's glaze over the service a little bit. Do you have a particular goal in mind?
I don't have religion or anything, but I'm going to ask. I'll ask Arvin, who, if there's anyone here who's ordained or a little bit better. Their god is a little bit strange to me. I'd rather have someone native doing the service.
He leans in and he whispers. He says, "There was. The first thing the necromancer did after he got control of the ship was bleed him out into the ocean."
Would you feel confident doing that, Arvin? I know we ask a lot of you.
He looks out on the deck and he barks out, "Oi, ye men! Ration of grog if you give the captain your attention!" And everybody stands at attention.
Right, not what I was going for. Okay. So,
Now,
we're here to...
the men that see that you're standing next to Arvin and that you're regarding him in good faith, he's very clearly well-liked on the ship.
Okay.
So you got that in with them at least. So rather than actually go through the whole speech, do you have a particular goal in mind? Are you trying to instill a
I was just trying to get them to... Mostly it's a distraction.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also trying to just get them to feel that that things went down as well as they could, despite how horrible they obviously were.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and do a persuasion.
Yeah, do a persuasion. DC 10.
Plus, I think that's a 6. 5. So 21.
Nice.
Very nice.
No problem. And I mean, like many of the crewmen were already predisposed towards you anyway. They were on that side of the mutiny.
Guys. We have a party face.
We have a party face.
What?
Yeah, the face of the party.
Yes, we do. Tarin ended up.
Chat?
No, he's saying that Tarin is the face of the party now.
Oh.
He's our mascot.
Downstairs, Zook.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Mm-hmm.
Add your proficiency bonus to it because you're proficient in lockpicking tools.
And I'm double proficient in it.
That's right,
because
you
I
are.
did-
So you add that. So it's +4 instead of +2.
Alrighty. Alright, well, that's not very good. So that's a 3
7 is not enough.
plus 3 plus 4. So that's
Did you get 10?
3 plus 5.
Yeah, you got 10. Just barely.
Yeah.
This is a very intricate lock, but eventually it succumbs to your persistence.
Yay!
And you open the door and you see treasure. Great amounts of it. In one corner you see a full suit of exquisitely crafted, obviously dwarven workmanship plate armor. You see just racks of finely crafted weapons, much nicer than was in the barracks. You see just chests overflowing with coins. On one wall is hung 4 black metal but very clear crystal mirrors. The flowery adornments all around their sides, and you can just close the door behind you and live here for the rest of your life.
Can I Scrooge McDuck in the treasure for a few turns?
Absolutely. There is enough coin in here that you absolutely could. What you feel you're looking at is the result of months of just piracy, essentially. You're looking at treasure. You never thought you would behold this much treasure in your life. It is amazing. It would take you hours just to look around and see what all's in here.
Can I make a quick look to see if there's any of those fancy weapons that I could actually use, or are they all adult human size?
Make an investigation check.
Alrighty.
I mean, what kind of weapon are you looking for, I should ask? Like, specifically.
Specifically, let's say a finesse sword that's light enough for me to use.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make the roll.
I don't know what that would be. I'm just
Short sword or rapier?
Well, that's a 19 plus. I don't know what you're looking for.
Mostly what you're finding are long swords and a few hand and a half swords. But one thing catches your eye. On top of one of the chests, sitting on top of more pieces of silver that you've ever seen in one place in your life, are 2 silver daggers with black hilts, very tight leather grips. A pair of them. And they have black leather sheaths that they're inside, each one emblazoned with the initials EQ.
Okay.
A dagger is a finesse weapon.
Oh, I know that. But I also know that there was a necromancer hanging on this boat for a while.
There was.
Can I do a perception check for traps or curses on those things? Just to be super paranoid?
You don't have... For traps, yes. I mean, yeah, go... No, I mean, you can obviously see there's no traps on the daggers.
Okay.
As far as whether or not they're magical, you have no idea.
Okay, well, I take those daggers.
My mouse cursor disappeared. Hold on, where did it go? There it is. I hate when that happens.
Mouse cursor.
All right. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Well, I'm gonna ask Zook, how much do you pocket? Like what are you stealing? Let's get that out of the way before I fast forward a little bit. There's one more encounter we have to get through tonight.
Okay.
How much gold can I carry before I will be encumbered?
Jesus Christ.
They're 50 gold pieces per pound.
Well, let me put it this way. Are you going to stand in this room and inventory all this stuff?
No, absolutely not. But I'm definitely going to shove a fistful of something in my pocket.
All right. How much does gold weigh? I don't even know. Well,
I mean,
look at the character sheet here. Let me see if I can figure this out real quick.
It weighs. It's 50. It's still 50 per pound.
50 per pound?
50 coins per pound.
And you can. What does it say your inventory cap is on the top of your inventory? What's your carrying capacity? I guess I could check.
35.
So you can carry 35 pounds.
35 pounds of gold. Well, I didn't put the weight on all my equipment. So.
But just even glossing over that, I see you added bloody arrowhead. Good on you.
Yeah.
So 50 per pound. So you can carry 1750 coins. Which is a lot of coin, and there's more than that in this room.
Okay.
So you pocket. I mean, are you going for a specific type of coin, or are you just grabbing what you grab?
I'm just grabbing what I grab. I want some various denominations, just a couple fistfuls.
Okay. Yeah, you. You realize you're gonna walk out of this room, pockets bulging with coin, clanking all up and down this ship.
No, I don't.
Jordy Bear was making that joke.
How much? Well, I actually have a thing. I have because I have a backpack, but that might give.
Yeah, this is with your backpack full to brim and all of your pockets and your cradle in your arms and up under your hat and your boots.
Okay, real talk. I just want to grab some gold. I don't want to be like you know, I don't want to be like walking around like, you know, I've got it stuffing out of my shirt. I just want to grab some gold to make me feel happy.
Okay. Roll 3d6.
Okay. Let's see. 2. 2. And 4.
Okay. And do that one more time.
One more?
Yeah.
1.
No, 3d6 total. So 1 plus
1. 5. 1.
So that was 6.
Yeah.
That was 7.
7.
Oh no, that's 7. The second one's 7.
Okay, just getting grabby for just about a minute or so. You managed to stuff 80 pieces of silver and 35 pieces of gold into your pockets. But that's not even a fraction of what's in this room.
No, that's fine. You said 80 pieces of silver and how many?
35 pieces of gold.
Okay, and then I grab those 2 silver daggers.
And you take the silver daggers. Okay. I'm going to erase the silver daggers from the treasure list here. So, you mark that on your inventory. 2 silver daggers. Make sure you mark that they're silver. That's going to be important.
Yeah. Do those do the same damage as my other daggers?
Yes.
At
No,
this
they're
point?
not. They don't have any enchantments on them. Just make sure you mark that they're made of silver.
Yeah.
They're in black leather sheaths that are obviously made for these particular weapons, and they have initials on the sheaths embroidered EQ. The crew is very uneasy at the loss of this emerald over the next couple of days. Tarin, did you meet with the navigator at all?
That was what I wanted to do next, yeah.
Okay. We can do that real quick then before we fast forward. So you go to the navigator's room. Arvin shows you where it is.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna... The room for the elite fighters is now the room for us. No one else has to go in there.
Okay.
That's
well,
nice.
Keep in mind, too, that there's rooms up on the main deck that you've never even been in.
Yeah. Oh, the cap probably... Okay.
Like you have your own
that
quarters.
room
You're
is
showing
for
the
our
captain's
room.
quarters is room 5 here.
Yeah.
You have the first mate's room would be 6. The navigator's room is 7.
I
And
want to
then
leave
there's
this room
the other room on the
quietly.
opposite end of the ship.
I think I'll bring everyone together to meet the navigator when we do that, though. We can let that wait until the next day, once the sail's repaired.
Okay, then a full heal happens. Everybody's back up to full HP.
Fallen.
Here you go, Destil. You can have this back now.
Gone.
Your one spell.
Rickro,
yeah.
did you hear me say I left that room quietly and shut the door behind me?
You shut it. Do you relock it?
Yes.
Sure, we'll let that happen. Okay, yeah, relock it. Arvin tells you, Tarin, that you have the key to the captain's room, and he tells you where to find it. He tells you that you also have the key to the treasury down on the mid-deck. And that you probably want to see it to believe it.
Really?
The next morning, you're woken... Where's everybody sleeping? Tarin, are you taking the captain's quarters?
I was actually going to have us all in here out of...
In the barracks?
paranoia. But...
With the Dragonborn?
Yeah, exactly.
Then
Plus, I
you
want
were
one of them
woken very early in the morning, before dawn, to a raging Dragonborn waking up and finding himself back in bondage. And he is
No,
just...
we untied him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the whole
What's
thing, was
the-
we were going to untie him.
Yeah, it's once we moved him in there, we were gonna untie him.
Okay, then you wake up to the sound of banging across the hall from you.
Sound of what?
Banging.
On our door or the other door?
No, on the door across the hall from you.
I guess I'll go over and see what it is.
You open the door and look across the hall. I lost Arvin. Where's he at?
Hmm?
Oh, here he
This
is.
guy?
Right there.
Yeah. Arvin is standing right here. The Dragonborn is throwing his shoulder repeatedly into the door of the treasury. And Arvin's trying to calm him down. And he sees you come out of the room and he says, "Captain, we can't stop him. He's leveled 2 of the men already." He's just throwing his shoulder into this door, trying to break it down. The door has not so far relented.
I'll try and calm him down.
What do you do?
I'll try and talk to him, but I have a feeling it's not going to work. Whoa, just calm down for a moment here.
Well, at this point, you see he's actually dressed. He's is he wearing armor? No, he's not wearing any armor. But he's wearing adornments that he didn't have when he was in the brig. Mostly just flavorful things. Like, it looks like the kind of things a tribal native might wear. He's wearing feathers, bones, big metal earrings coming out of each side of his ear. And he's got a long quarterstaff with a paw, an iron paw at each end. And when he hears you, he looks back. He says, "Our coup was successful, taking my share of the wealth. And then I'm taking this ship."
Well, here we go.
Oh no.
I don't think they'd want to follow you, friend. We can put down anywhere you need to go.
Arvin interrupts you. He says he's already got half the men on his side. He's promised them the wealth of a dragon in the northern mountains. "That's right," says the Dragonborn. He says that I'll deliver it in a way that that captain and that necromancer never could. We'll feast in my father's halls before long, but first I'll be paid for my part of the work.
Were you on this crew before you were captured?
Arvin answers that. He says he decidedly was not. The necromancer pulled him off of the first boats, to make an example out of him. Dragonborn says, "Yes, now what of it? Your necromancer is dead. Shall we follow this twig of a puny human?"